Well, this meeting has been a long time in coming. Longer still since you took time to charge into the tops before coming to see me. Before we get down to details, I must ask, now that you've arrived at your destination, what do you make of what you see? A crude question, crudely asked. I'll be happy to satisfy your rambunctious curiosity at a more appropriate moment. But now I'll repeat my question. What do you make of what you've seen? You aren't going to ramble on about the virtues of life out in the wastes, are you? It's a desert, you do realize. A radioactive desert where humans subsist in a barbaric state. Difficult to glorify convincingly. They are, however, aptly named. For that's what you'd be out there, wasted. Here on the Strip, your talents can be put to use. You are the first person to step foot inside the Lucky 38 in over 200 years. It was not an invitation I made lightly. We have a serious matter to discuss concerning a contract you have yet to fulfill. You have an interest in this, whether you like it or not. You signed a contract to deliver the platinum chip to me. Now, I could stop you from leaving, but what would that accomplish? If you want to go, go. See what the Strip I built, the Strip I own, has to offer. Think about what I could offer you. I expect we'll have occasion to talk again. So you've said before, you're making a habit of wasting my time. I am Robert Edwin House, President, CEO, and sole proprietor of the New Vegas Strip. No, while brains demonstrated some use as organic processors in the robots produced by General Atomics International, they never retained personality once removed from the human body. Well, enough. Let's have the chip, then. Fine. Give me the chip and I'll pay you 4 times the delivery bonus stipulated in your contract. How's that? How shall I put this? Delivery of the platinum chip is non-negotiable. I invite you to think carefully about what you do next, standing alone before me, surrounded by my heavily armed Securitron guards. By the time I was 30 years old, I was a billionaire 30 times over. I founded and ran a vast economic empire. Do you really think I'm going to let an upstart come into my home and ransom my property to me? I spent 2 centuries searching for the platinum chip. It's my invention, my property, mine! Now be a good courier and deliver it! Why, thank you so much. You played that very poorly, you realize? You're fortunate that I have a certain tolerance for greed. I expect my business partners to be self-interested, but smartly so. I must insist that you stay long enough for me to show you what the chip does. I promise you'll like what you see. Events of great import are about to unfold, with you taking a central role. To get started, all you need to do is take the elevator all the way down to the bottom level. I'm surprised you can still underestimate me after everything you've seen. I haven't shown my hand. I've shown one card. I've given my enemies a single provocative datum upon which to fixate. No. You'll want to hear this out. To secure the future of New Vegas, I must have your assistance. The work ahead is dangerous, but you weather danger well. Do you have any idea how prodigious is the opportunity you're casting aside here? Absolutely not. Caesar is of great use to me. I don't want you harming a hair on that man's head, assuming you could find one. If you find Caesar's legion so frightening at this remove, imagine them rampaging across the Strip. We have a chance to see them destroyed, to see New Vegas become the harbinger of a new age. I'll give you time to think over the consequences of what you're saying. I urge you to reconsider. Have you found the courage to do what's necessary? What did you want to discuss? That's because he ceased to be relevant when you recovered the platinum chip. Revenge doesn't interest me. Progress does. Sorry to deny you a moment of primate triumph, but you'll have to go elsewhere to sound your barbaric yawp. What else did you want to discuss? Hoover Dam, of course. A hydroelectric dam.
Yeah! Had enough? You like that?
I see you reached your destination safely. Shall we get to work? Goodbye? Is that some kind of joke? You barely understand what I want you to accomplish down there. That you were searched very thoroughly when you arrived at the fort is a certainty. And as the chip is a little too large to be secreted away, I also regard it a certainty that the chip was discovered, taken from you, and given to Caesar, who returned it to you. 2 + 2 = 4, Caesar wants you to destroy whatever you find in this bunker. But that's not going to happen, because you're going to work for me. I like to think you have enough sense to do the right thing. The rewards for doing so are immense, as are the punishments for not doing so. Stop wasting time. Go upload the data on the platinum chip to the facility's primary computer. Now it's just a matter of adjusting the attitudes of some lesser groups while we wait for Caesar's legion to attack Hoover Dam. I offer many benefits, but vacation time isn't one of them. You laid the foundation for my victory, so fine. I'll permit some latitude in how you schedule your work. You're welcome. Any progress with the boomers? I'll expect to see some tangible progress before long, then. Come back when you have something to report. There's more than one way to skin a cat, as the saying goes. Or went, that is, cats being extinct. I don't promote political assassination as a first option, but it has a long and storied history. As I said before, I need you to investigate the Omertas to see what they're up to. There's a job that needs doing here, and I'm assigning it to you. I much prefer working with robots. As I said before, I need you to investigate the Omertas to see what they're up to. Marvelous work ethic. Bravo! What do you have to report about the Omertas? Then look harder. And how do you know this? And you assisted them? That's what you mean to say, isn't it? I see. So where does that put us? Can't put the genie back in the bottle, is that it? Maybe you should have thought of that before you conspired to destroy my property. Your next assignment is to locate and destroy remnants of the Mojave chapter of the Brotherhood of Steel. The NCR nearly did the job at Helios 1 a few years ago, but there seem to have been survivors, unfortunately. Given the Brotherhood's fanatical views on technology, they can be counted on to oppose my regime. Please, put them out of my misery. We're talking about a coterie of bulging-eyed fanatics who think all pre-war technology belongs to them. They'll never accept my using an army of robots to defend New Vegas. While it's a fight I can win, I'd rather sidestep it altogether. Don't tell me you've fallen for the stories of noble paladins on crusade, preserving mankind's technology in a benighted age? Dross! In any case, this is an employer-employee relationship. I've given you an assignment, and the directions are clear. A few questions, and then you'll handle the Brotherhood, I hope? Because they're ridiculous. Because they gallivant around the Mojave, pretending to be knights of yore. Or did, until the NCR showed them that ideological purity and shiny power armor don't count for much when you're outnumbered 15 to 1. The world has no use for emotionally unstable techno-fetishists. Just wipe them out, will you? Have you destroyed the Brotherhood of Steel? Hidden Valley is the place to keep working, then. I need you to make sure that no harm comes to President Kimball. It's fortunate that you've maintained good relations with the NCR. There's nothing to think about. You have a job to do, so do it. You're making me question your usefulness, you realize. Will you ensure that President Kimball survives his visit to Hoover Dam? This is not an optional assignment. Kimball may be a grandstanding bore, but I want him protected. Until you do this, consider yourself suspended, without pay. Questions like, will President Kimball survive his visit to Hoover Dam? I care because he is a known quantity, not the man so much as the political context he inhabits. Kimball's entire political career is inextricably bound up with the NCR's occupation of the Mojave. It's his war. If I compel the NCR to retreat, Kimball will be the sacrifice offered to the gods so decent NCR citizens can get on with their lives. In retrospect, the Mojave and Hoover Dam will seem like one man's misadventure. Kimball will be blamed, not me, not New Vegas.
We enjoy our privileges because you take the greatest of risks.
Kimball is dead. What a mess you've made. Every step of my plan has been precisely calculated and was, until now, well executed. Light must be brought to this darkness. Broadcasting encrypted VMQ-boosted command signals to hundreds of Securitrons eats up more power than you might expect. Come back when your work at the substation is done. Until the Lucky 38's reactor has been restarted, we have nothing to discuss. You've already uploaded the new operating system to the Securitrons. All they need is power, and they'll be in fighting trim. Even now, on the brink of battle, back to Vegas, shall we? I really should do something about that monorail with all the new resources at hand. I can make sure it not only runs, but runs on time. Always bothered me, the imprecision. The General's accident was unfortunate. With Kimball dead, the angry Californian public could have used an alternate scapegoat to pillory. I will admit, when you ignored my invitation, I predicted negative outcomes. But you have a way of exceeding expectations, don't you?